Welcome back, reality designers, and welcome to all of our new listeners. Thank you for being here. I'm Denny Van. Today's topic is so intriguing. We are going to be discussing pendulums and egregores and thought forms and energy vampires. And it's important to discuss these because these energy structures affect our lives. They actually shape our lives and our reality. So, egregores and all of these things. Other people might pronounce egregores differently, but that's how I learned how to pronounce it. But these are thought forms or collective energies created by groups of people through shared beliefs, emotions, and intentions. So these energies can take on a life of their own and influence the thoughts and actions of those who participate in them. So there's a key to this word, in those who participate in them. Pay attention later because we're going to get into a key technique. So in terms of spirituality and personal development, internal growth, emotional intelligence. So, as a linguist, let's talk about what other words are related to this term egregore. Transurfers might refer to them as pendulums. Empaths may refer to them as energy vampires. So the point is to understand that these energy structures are there because they can impact not only our spiritual growth, but our personal, our mental health, our physical well-being and development. So let's say, for example, if we are part of a community that believes in love and compassion, so this energy will be amplified when we come together, when two or more come together to meditate or pray or to amplify this energy together. And also, on the other side of the coin, if we are part of a group or community that focuses on spreading separation, fear, negativity, those kind of energies, this energy can also affect us. And it doesn't matter if you're focused in on that energy saying, that's good, I support that, or if you're on the other side of the coin saying, that's bad, I don't support that, that should be stopped, there should be a law against that. So it doesn't matter which side of the coin you're on, you're feeding these energy structures and they feed off the energy. So I had a question sent to me saying, Denny, I heard human design is a cult. Absolutely, anything can become a cult. As a matter of fact, there are some groups making reality transurfing cult-like. So these thought forms start when two or more are gathered and create this structure together. So by becoming aware of these energy structures, egregores, pendulums, energy vampires, groupthink, we can consciously choose which ones we want to align ourselves with. However, there's a caveat. If you consciously choose to set up boundaries and disconnect yourself from any of these energy structures, it could create energetic chaos in your life. So just be aware of that, prepare for that. But what we want to do is work with these energy structures because egregores allow us to tap into a powerful source of collective energy for manifesting our desires. And what we do is we focus in our intentions on creating positive change within ourselves first, because we are the drop that trickles out from self, and then the world around us, while being part of an egregore aligned with these values. That's key. So you want to focus on those egregores that are aligned with your values. And then it amplifies our efforts toward achieving those goals. So we're going to get into some examples of what egregores are, but I found a couple of organizations that openly say that they create an egregore with these values and we follow these values. So one is the Rosicrucians. They openly talk about the egregore and the vibration that is created between this meat suit and the source of energy exchange. And then another one I found is Neurographica, the original creator of Neurographica, creating values and intentions and being openly saying that, yes, this is an egregore we're creating because we want to keep the integrity of this practice or this thought or idea, belief system that is spreading across the world. So these egregores and understanding how they work really provide practical insights into how group consciousness and group think influence individual experiences, making it easier for those seeking spiritual awakening to navigate their journey toward enlightenment more effectively. And there are, when you let go of some of these thought forms, become aware of what's happening, prepare your energy, because an energy thought form, an egregore, it is also a collective energy. So there's other people involved, and it is sustained by this shared beliefs, emotions, and actions of a group. So it becomes an entity that exists in the non-physical realm, but can have powerful impact on our physical reality. So these egregores are created when individuals come together. Dare I say, maybe the Bible is teaching us how to create these egregores. When two or more are gathered in my name, I am there. So we have two or more coming together with a common purpose or intention. This could be anything from a religious organization to a political movement. So if you look back in most recent history on how these energies were fed, not only financially, but with our focus, awareness, and attention. And these religious or political movements, it could even be something as simple as putting your focus, awareness, and attention on a sports team. So as people share their ideas and work towards their goals, they create an energetic field that becomes more powerful over time. So individuals can contribute to the creation and maintenance of these thought forms through their thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions. The manifestation formula is be, do, have. So you got to be it first. So we download the information first. So when someone joins a group with strong beliefs or intentions, they begin to align themselves with the group's energy field. They may start to adapt similar beliefs or behaviors without even realizing it. So many awakening hearts have reported receiving downloads after maybe joining a group or something along those lines. Let me know in the comments if that is you, if you've experienced those types of internal experiences. But over time, this shared energy field becomes stronger as more people join in and add their own energy to it. And here's the thing, is people can be joining in and adding negative energy to it. So The egregore takes on its own life force, which can then influence those who are a part of it, both positively and negatively. So the egregore itself is neutral. What energy we're feeding it creates whether it becomes positive or negative. That's why some of these openly organizations that say, yes, we create values and intentions and we stick to these with integrity and allowing who we allow in and what type of energy we allow in our inner circle. So these structures can be used for good, but they can also be used consciously or unconsciously for destruction. So it's really, really important for individuals to be aware of how they are contributing to these collective energies, social media cesspools, dare I say, because they can have such an impact on our lives, on our mental well being, on our physical well being. And by understanding how egregores work, we can become more conscious creators of our reality rather than being unconsciously influenced by them. So, of course, I'm going to recommend this book. It's called Egregores, The Occult Entities That Watch Over Human Destiny by Mark Stavish. And if you're watching on YouTube or any of our other, I can leave a link to that, but check it out. It's an excellent book because egregores are a fascinating concept in spirituality. And this refers to the collective thought forms or energies created by groups of people. So, is hypnosis by design an egregore? I definitely have values, beliefs, goals, integrity that I want to align myself with those who are magnetized to that. So it's really important to get clear because these energetic entities can take on a life of their own, like human design is taking on a life of its own. Reality transurfing, as much as they try to trademark it or what have you, it is a trademark term, but we're referring to the book Reality Transurfing, Steps 1 through 5 by Vadine Zealand. So these can take on a life of their own and influence the thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions of those who participate in them. And these two concepts alone are taking on fire internationally. Human design, transurfing, hypnosis, combining tools to create magnificent transformation. So the creation of an egregore begins with a group's shared intention or focus. As individuals come together with similar goals and intentions, they begin to generate a unique energy field that is greater than any individual member's contribution. So, in other words, I can't do this myself. None of us can do this ourselves. We need each other. So, this collective energy becomes more powerful as it is sustained over time through continued participation and reinforcement. So participate in those pendulums that you want to see grow and do good. Let go of and maybe create a slide of intention to see those pendulums do whatever for the highest good and then let it go. No longer feed your most precious gift to it, your focus, awareness, and attention. And we choose to reinforce and participate within those energy structures that we want to see grow. Because each person who participates in an egregore contributes to its creation and maintenance through their thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and action. So the other side of the coin is true as well, because if everybody is staring at an egregore on a negative path, it can be destroyed. And there are definitely techniques where you can absorb the energy or let it come through you with techniques like not putting importance on it. So these are techniques where you can let it go through you without feeding any of your energy to it. So if a group comes together with positive intentions for healing or growth, we come together with focus sessions, focus session groups. Our last one was on health and well-being. So as we come together, this growth also can transcend and transmute negative programming. So this is a process that we use, a four-step process mechanism that activates a mechanism within your human design. But this impacts how strong or effective these connections are, these energy structures are. So becoming aware is key of when we are participating in different types of energy structures, egregores. It is essential for spiritual growth to become aware of these because it allows us to disentangle ourselves from negative or limiting collective energies. And then when we recognize our role in creating and sustaining these energetic entities, whether consciously or unconsciously, we can choose which ones we want to align ourselves with based on our values and intentions. So if you want to cultivate a more more positivity in your life, but maybe you find yourself constantly surrounded by negativity at home or at work, just by recognizing that you might be participating in an unhealthy culture, workspace environment, which is an egregore, and you can start taking steps toward disengaging from it. So one example that I did, and this is before I knew about egregores and pendulums, one technique that I used, I was working in an environment where I had to drive into Boys Town in Chicago and work for an agency that had this whole new platform where deaf and hard of hearing people can communicate through video relay. So video relay was so brand new. It was right around 2000, between 2001, 2003, thereabouts. But there was this one person there who was so negative. And when I saw on the schedule that I was working with her, this is when I really started doing self-hypnosis and working on my own mindset because it was affecting my ability to do my job. So what I did was I created a slide unknowingly. I didn't know about reality transurfing. So I created a slide and I saw her. And I said a mantra to her from my heart. What I was learning at the time was the energy I send out from my heart with emotion, with intention, comes back to me, right? So it could come back to me like tenfold. So what I did was I held a slide of her up in my third eye. And from my heart, I said the mantra, health, wealth, success to you. I never said those words out loud. So as a manifester, and I didn't know I was a manifester, as a manifester, I created space for her to find health, wealth, and success. So I did this for about, I want to say 2 weeks, like from the new moon to the full moon. Not even 2 weeks, maybe even 10 days. So I did this for about 10 days because I was working a lot during this time because they were trying to train new people to get in for this new technology. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to work all those hours, but oh my gosh, do I got to work with her? So I had to change my mindset and create this slide with this mantra. Within 10 days, she announced to everyone that her husband got this position that they totally wanted him to get, and they were moving from Chicago to Arizona. And I was like, oh my God, that means her blessings, even more is coming my way. And sure enough, it did. I had so many blessings after that. So, this is how we can use these energy structures and feed them, because how we feed them, even if we don't like them, even if we're sending, I don't like that, that has to change. We got to create laws against that. If I'm feeding that energy structure, it is going to come back to me in some way. So, awareness about how we are participating in these energy structures is crucial for spiritual growth and development. And understanding how these energies work, we can choose which ones to align ourselves with based on our values and intentions. And, in understanding these energies work for practical spirituality, for awakening hearts, because we can also learn how to create new egregores that align with our values and support our personal, professional, and especially spiritual growth. And this may involve really being choosy on which communities where like minded individuals come together with a shared purpose: meditation groups, healing groups, spiritual retreats, those kind of things. So these energy structures play important roles in shaping our behaviors, both individually and collectively. And just by being aware of them, we are able to harness their power positively while avoiding any negative consequences associating with them, because it starts with you. So, well known egregores are corporations. You just see a symbol, and boom, you know which corporation without any words, just a symbol. That's an egregore. That's a true egregore. It is an entity that is created by a group of people who share a common goal, usually to make money. The energy generated by the collective thoughts and actions of its employees, shareholders, and customers create an egregore for the corporation. So, money itself is an egregore. It's not good or bad. Money itself is not good or bad. It's how it's used. There are really good corporations out there. There are really nasty corporations out there. And we have to choose which ones that we are going to see grow. Another big one, big giant energy structure is political parties. So, political parties are groups of people who come together to promote their shared beliefs and ideologies. So we've seen some ideology. So I'll use the pendulum analogy. We've seen ideologies go very far one way and then go very far the other way. And we're coming to an awareness that these energies are generated by collective thoughts and actions of either side of party members. Each one has its egregore that is fed for political intentions. And then, of course, there's religions. Religions are a very big egregore because, dare I say, I grew up Christian. Dare I say, didn't Jesus die for our sins? Pretty much saying he was the way and the truth and the light, and that we pretty much didn't need the middleman anymore. So religion is a huge one, but so many of us need guidance. But once we're done with the guidance, we now have to walk on our own. So we become dependent on that guidance, and it becomes an egregore. And that egregore likes, the attention and the money, whether it's good attention or bad attention, right? We're seeing so many religions receiving negative attention, and suddenly they're growing. Interesting. Understanding egregores is important for spiritual growth because it helps us become aware of how our own thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions contribute to these larger collective energies, and becoming aware of one's participation in different types of egregores. So it was during the lockdown season, 2001 actually is when I started learning the frame drum because I purchased this book from a wonderful author about when the drummers were women and the whole history behind it, and even hieroglyphs of women holding frame drums and even goddesses holding these frame drums. So I realized during that time I could either put my focus, attention, and awareness on all of this fear mongering during this lockdown time, or I can choose to say, oh my gosh, I really resonate with this. I'm going to learn more about the frame drum. So I started feeding this with my own focus, awareness, attention, and intention. My intention as a manifester was to create something from the throat energy center. So I have been playing the frame drum successfully, now professionally, for 4 years. And so this is something that I chose to feed. Now, what happened was when I started letting go of my focus, awareness, and attention from those egregores, there was a little bit of backlash there. So I had to let it go through me and not react, but maybe use one of the tools, create a slide for the highest good, for the highest truth to be shown, is what I did, and then focus in on what I wanted to do. And this is the secret of how you can use these magnificent or destructive energy structures by choosing which types to feed. All right, so lots of information there. I highly recommend you get both books. Reality Transurfing talks about pendulums, and Egregores by Mark Stavish. And in the meantime, I want to hear from you. I want to know what you loved, and I want to know what you would love more of. And then in the meantime, keep being amazing.